mean, it's on brand for sure. It doesn't look like it.
Okay, Harry Live now. I hit the go
Again,
live button. I found it. Woo!
not a good intro. Not a good.
Look, it's better than me saying, Woogie, lead us into song. And then you go, well, I was going to write a song, and then it got copyright, so I didn't write a song.
I don't think that's better, I'll be honest.
Is us bickering better?
Maybe. I think it's more on brand.
This is what you get when you've been gamer buddies for so long. Welcome to the episode of Crit. We are live because I hit the live button. Welcome to episode 4 with the amazing co-hosts. We have Danny over here in the clouds. We have Woogie in what is now just a brick room. And me, your resident gamer girl, Blondie, Kimmy, whatever. How do we usually... Oh, what did we play? What?
Is there a badger in your bushes, or is it a cat?
It's a raccoon. It's a trash panda.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Yeah, thank you. Anywho's, let's start off with what games have you been playing this week?
I guess I'll go first. I have been playing Dragon's Dogma 2. A lot of controversy surrounding it. I think it's definitely overblown. But you know, people love controversy, especially when it has to do with microtransactions. I'm not excusing that they're in the game. They shouldn't be in the game. But there's practically zero reason to buy any of them. And it's a great game. It's very fun.
Are they easy to find if you're playing, or are they like hard to find, like people are saying?
No, I mean, like maybe like I haven't found one of the items to like change what your character looks like, but I also haven't looked for it. But everything else I have found, whether I want it or not. And like I think a lot of the currency is like the one you use to level up your pawns.
Okay.
And buy new pawns, and I have never run out of any of that currency, and if you want a pawn that's your level, they're free. So
did you play chess?
Pawns are like your teammates, like your little AI companions. Incredible system, by the way. The team AI thing is just so cool. The game is great. It doesn't run well on PC, but that will hopefully be fixed with patches. But I think it's a very, very, very good game.
Nice. Woogie, what did you play this week?
Balatro, lots and
oh my
gosh!
Oh, I remember this game from last week. It's a card game. It's popular.
It's a new game. It's actually
and it's new.
It's a new game. Yeah, I've seen a lot about it.
It's a roguelike poker game. And it's really easy to get started and really hard to master. But yeah, it's fantastic.
I love it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. But then I've also died a few times in attempting to do honor mode runs in BG3 I still have yet to finish one, and I'm real mad about it.
Can we start a counter now?
I'll balance it out.
It's like in the corner, just have like a tally
episode.
for failed honor campaigns.
I can't have them at the same time. I have to like stop one to play the other.
I love it. Let's see.
What are you playing?
I was playing more Lightyear Frontier, not the Buzz Lightyear game apparently from Wiggy from last week.
Definitely not. I don't even know if there is a Buzz Lightyear game. At least currently.
Like, okay, I know I'm stupid, but like you gotta.
You're good. It's okay.
Going on and on about the Disney game, and then started talking about at the same level this game called Lightyear, and I'm like, oh, and
that was the name of the movie.
To be fair,
it's like the movie tie-in.
No one's making fun of you, Woogie. I did the same thing to Danny too when I first was messaging him about it. I was like, "Do you want to play this game?" And I just said Lightyear. I didn't say anything else. And he's like, "This game?" And he sends me a completely different game. And
yeah,
I was
she
like,
just told me
that's my bad.
Lightyear, and so I just went on Steam and searched Lightyear, and there was a lot more options than you would expect. And I was like, I have no idea which game she was
None of
talking
them are
about.
Disney, by the way.
Of the Toy Story game from the PS1. This game?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also downloaded a new phone app game, which I'm really excited to try, which is called Star Brew Cafe.
I downloaded Undawn and I never played it.
Oh my god, I have to download Undawn and play it because
I forgot.
I saw the trailer.
Right after we talked about it, a few days later, Donkey did his gameplay of it, and it looks so good.
Wait. Are you saying that
I have a hard time believing
was
that.
sarcastically, or does it actually look okay?
Like, it looks so good how awful it is. Like, that's I would love to see more gameplay of it.
Yeah, I downloaded it at the end of last week's episode, and then I just never. It's on the last page of my apps, and I never go back there, and I just never opened it.
Is it a mobile game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think it might be on PC too. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked anywhere, but I think it's like primarily a mobile game, but they like just brought it to PC for the hell of it.
Anything from
Interesting.
Tencent is going to be primarily mobile.
I do want to go through our releases at the beginning of the episode instead of trying to cram them in at the end. So, again, Danny had his top picks for this week. Do you remember what they were?
I don't remember what they were. I know the South Park game was on there, and I kind of now learning about the South Park game. I wish I didn't include it. Yeah, I was like, oh, it's like the most well-known like IP that's coming out this week. I'll throw it in there.
Before we talk about that, or maybe we could talk about Princess Peach.
Yes. Okay, so we do have a special guest, which I'm excited for.
Our first guest.
Our first guest.
Yeah, oddly enough, our first guest. Not like an illustrious game developer, but still pretty good.
Excuse me.
An illustrious gamer.
You don't know.
A very illustrious gamer.
Maybe she will grow up to be one of the biggest game developers, and we'll be like, we knew her before she was famous.
That's true. That's true. And then I get to take all the credit, because this is my daughter. This is Ellie. And Ellie is going to switch spots with me so that she can give a quick review of Princess Peach Showtime.
Hell
Let me switch real quick. Please.
Hi, Ellie.
Hi.
Welcome to Grit.
Thank you for being our first guest. So, what did you think of the game?
Took me like a couple days to complete it.
Yeah? Did you think it was easy, hard, good balance?
Yeah. It was like a good balance. Like the bosses were kind of hard, but everything else was quite easy.
What would you say was your favorite thing about the Princess Peach game?
I liked how there were like different stages where you have to do like everything you have to do different, like in different stages.
Yeah, which one was your favorite?
Hard to choose.
Yeah.
I came in when you were playing the mermaid one. That one seemed kind of fun.
The figure skating.
Figure skating?
Yeah.
What was the, for those who might not have played before, what were the different stages? Were they just different outfits, or did they have like different game mechanics that you had to learn?
Basically the same game mechanic, but it was like different abilities for the main button you had to press was just B for like the ability.
That's awesome. And so ice skating was your favorite stage, but did you have a favorite outfit?
I really liked the sword fighter outfit.
The sword fighter outfit does look awesome. Look, I'm not asking the real questions here. I just want to know about the Princess Peach outfits.
What about if you were to give it a rating, say out of 5? Oh wow, I didn't.
The tough question.
That's someone who knows how to rate their games, though.
4
They're
out of
not
5?
about to give that away.
4 out of 5 is pretty good.
Yeah. Do you like Mario games in general?
Yeah.
Nice.
There, when you're out of like the levels and you're just like in the main like kind of thing. You can change the like dress.
Oh, that's cool. So you
Was
can
this
wear the
this
different.
is the first Princess Peach game that's ever come out, right?
Second,
The second.
Oh, I
What
thought it was
first
the
one?
first.
Super Princess Peach.
Super Princess Peach, right? See, she's got the
Oh.
facts.
She
She's
knows.
fact checkers.
We like it. We like it. Now, would you
I love
say,
this game.
compared to all the other Mario or Princess Peach game you've played, do you think it's on the must-play list, kind of falls in the middle, or where would you say it stacks up to the Mario collection?
I think it's pretty good. So I think maybe like must play.
Must play.
Nice.
It was like the highest selling game in Japan
Really?
last week, and it wasn't even close.
Really?
Yeah,
I
a lot
didn't
of
know
people
that.
like it.
Dang.
Would you like them to make more of the Princess Peach?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is something they can do next? Like, if they were to build off this game, what would you like to see in a future game of Princess Peach?
Or DLC of this one too.
Oh, that's true. They could do a DLC.
I think maybe if they added like more like level things, like different ones, because like you have to do the same kind of like like with the same outfit like 3 times. So maybe if they added like a new one of those.
Ah.
You heard it. You heard it here first. Nintendo, put more outfits in Princess Peach. We
I'm
demand
telling
it.
you.
More stages and outfits, or do you mean like a fourth part of the stage that has like a new harder mechanic?
Same one, but harder. Just
So new stages and new costumes. Okay, so you just want more
You just
costumes.
want more. You just want more. More of everything is what I'm getting.
I like it. Do you have anything else that you would want to say about the game to our watchers out there?
to collect like these things. I forget what they're called, but like if you collect all of them in a stage, you get like a photo.
Ooh. I do like when you get to collect things.
Too, like, after you beat the story, it's kind of like Mario Odyssey, where you can then go back and replay to get more collectibles and unlock more stuff, right? Cool.
Nice. Now, do you have a new game that you're set your sights on that you're excited to play?
I don't really know if like I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much coming out. I think that's up her. I mean, the last game you got before this was Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, right?
That's a completely different vibe.
That just shows the dichotomy of
Yeah,
her.
she's versatile.
I like it. Be terrified and then dressed like a princess.
Cool. All right. Well, anything you want to say before I kick you out?
Bye. Well, thank you so much for giving us a
coming
review.
on.
We appreciate it. Bye.
Oh, we'll have to have like a Five Nights at Freddy's episode or something. The return.
That was a weird adjustment. All right, I'm back now.
Okay. Am I free to say something not so nice now?
Oh, don't worry. I mean, she lives with me. She
she's
gets
probably
enough.
heard worse.
I was just gonna say, I'm shocked that something that amazing came from you.
It's I'd agree. It is pretty shocking, but also there is a level of she gets into the shit sometimes, and definitely gets that from both me and my wife. So.
Well, that was our first review. Awesome. I loved it. If you are interested in getting Princess Peach, the game, it came out on Switch last week. It is a 4 out of 5 is what we got. It has
our
amazing
official
outfits.
rating, the first grit official rating, Princess Peach Showtime 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
A must play for Mario fans.
A must play. Get those outfits. I also think that the fencer, is it a fence? Isn't it like a little fencing.
The swords person, or the sword
Yeah.
fighter.
Looks awesome. We do have some other awesome games coming out this week.
What are they?
Oh, there's so many. We have starting. Well, I mean, it's almost the end of the week. So we had Between Horizons, which is. Hold on. I think coming to PC. I might just be wrong on if it's just PC. Between Horizons, we have Ender, Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist, PC, Bulwark, Falconeer Chronicles, PC, South Park Snow Day. You heard it here. Everyone loves it. It's top notch.
Oh yeah, it's a must. It's another must play. Right next to once you finish Princess Peach, just hop on over to South Park.
I've not heard good things about that, but that is on PC, PlayStation 5, Switch, and Xbox. We have Outpost, Infinity Siege, Go Fight Fantastic, Millennia, Distant Bloom, Sunny Cafe. Distant Bloom is one of my top picks. I would highly recommend it. It looks fun. Sunny Cafe also looks good if you like some of those cozier games. Auto Forge, Brocula is one of the ones I am super excited to play. It is a life sim, and you are a vampire.
It sounds right up your alley from all the Asterian talk that's been on this show.
I know, right?
What's the difference between that and The Sims? I can also be a vampire in The Sims. I don't.
But you're not a bro. You're a brocula. Like, I think it's also Pixel. Don't quote me on that. Also, Sims nickel and dime you, or they used to, and I'm still salty about it. So.
Oh, no, they do it worse now.
I'm sure they do. Open Roads, which was on Danny's pick, and I do stand behind that one. That one looks awesome.
That one was my top pick. Yeah, it looks so cool.
It looks great. It's who is it? Oh God, what's her actress name? That is the voice, I think, of the mom.
Oh, I didn't even know that there was like a.
She has curly hair. I feel like she was in Felicia.
Oh, okay. So an actress with curly hair. Yeah, that's gonna narrow it down. All right, let's keep going. Just keep naming off attributes of actresses.
It starts with a K. Is her name starts with a K, like Kira or I don't know. Chris. No, I don't think it's that far of a K name. Shorter than that one. Anywho, Amanda Crafter comes out.
Caitlin Dever. Caitlin Dever is the kid who is also an actress. Carrie Russell is the mom.
Thank you, Carrie Russell.
I didn't even know it had like a stacked cast. I just thought the art looked so sick.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, you know what? You were right. Carrie Russell was Felicity.
Thank you.
You were. All right, I'll give you that.
She has curly hair.
She did have that was a very big trademark for her. She doesn't have it anymore, but yeah, I'll give you that.
Thank you.
The Felicity you kind of trailed off with, and then you started mentioning everything else as if it was more important.
There's always some hidden logic underneath whatever Kimmy's saying. It might be buried super deep down in there, but usually she's right.
Super deep, but yeah.
Also, two of my other top picks is Omega Crafter, which looks awesome, and I do not know how to say this name, but Denizen, which is also a builder type, which looks cool. So there are a lot of games coming out this week. Things for anything, anyone. That did not make sense. But highly recommend. Check it out. Play a game. Let us know in the comments what you think. And that's all I have to say. What a great episode, guys. That's it, right?
All right, wrap it up.
Lead us away, Danny, into our stories.
You forgot to mention one game that was on my list.
That's because it wasn't on the list I had. I meant to add it. My bad.
It's Planet Zoo Console Edition.
Yes, okay. I had to talk to you about this.
Also, I don't understand how the console edition is now coming out. I played it on Xbox years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still have it on Xbox.
How long has it been?
It must be like the new one, the new consoles. I'm imagining, but
I feel like this game came out like in 2016.
Yeah, I think it's 2016, 2017. I was in college and I played it.
Look, you think that I play out of date games? That's one of the only games that my wife plays is Zoo Tycoon. Like. On the PC.
No. You're misunderstanding. This is Planet Zoo, not Zoo Tycoon.
Okay, now so tell me what the difference is between
What's a
Planet
planet?
Different
Zoo.
games. Completely different games. Couldn't be
Uh,
further apart from each other.
okay. Okay.
I'll put it this way. It's like it's the same relationship that Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts has.
So they're basically the same game, but everybody says they're not.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, I get it. I get it.
It
Um,
is the console edition is the next gen consoles.
Nice. I do think that it's interesting because I feel like we're seeing a rise of people going back to these type of, what do you wouldn't call them management games? Are they god like
God games.
It's the it's a
It's like
tycoon builder. I mean, like that's something I mean I still this week I did forget to mention when I got was like not really wanting to play Balatro and not really wanting to play Baldur's Gate. I did re-download and start playing again 2 Point Hospital, right? Which is that like the
ah
economy simulation builder tycoon, like whatever that big category is. And yeah, I mean there I really wish that there were better ones. My biggest problem with them is that they always do too small.
okay.
Like the only full scale, and it's not even like I guess like it's for me the right scale is like Stellaris. If you played Stellaris, like
No.
that's the right scale for it's a bigger version of Civ. Like
Yeah.
everything is to the nth degree. It's gigantic. It takes place over a whole galaxy. You
Yeah,
take a
it
look at, I
doesn't
mean,
get much
even
bigger in scale.
yeah, but like I mean like that's what I think more should be aiming for, right? Like even the old Sim cities, the plots were okay size, but like it wasn't about just the one plot. It was about building, multiple large cities and connecting them and stuff, but then they kind of dropped the ball because on the new Sim City, it was what 10 years ago or whatever, they had that ability where you could actually communicate with the other cities and send services to each other and sell and buy stuff, which is great. But then that game had the problem of everything being too small. So it was like you get one or the other. And I just wish that, yeah, these tycoon builder games could be so massive, but they always make them too small. So that's
I've
what I mean. Like
never.
Planet Zoo sounds really big.
Because it's a
It's
planet.
not.
It's a
just a
whole
zoo.
planet.
It's a zoo. It's not a planet. It's a lie.
Eddie.
But it's great. You can you can make like your little avatar and you can drive golf carts around the zoo that you've built.
So
Now
wait,
that's
is it a driving game or is it a zoo game?
no, it's like a zoo game. You build the zoo, but
How
then you
awesome would
also
it be though if
you
that was
also have to
like
manage it.
if people were like, dude, I know that this is a zoo game, but actually the driving physics are better than
Oh
like
no.
Forza. Like,
The
how
the
funny
driving
would that
physics
be
are
though?
horrible.
How funny
They're
would that be though if
horrible.
that was like the best driving game
Yeah,
was
they
Zoo
put in all
Tycoon?
the resources to the driving. It's really fun. It has co-op too. Me and my friend played it.
Nice.
Is
It's
it
super
just
fun.
fighting with each other? Like
Do you get to
Nah,
make
you're
you
like,
just
oh,
different zoos?
you're
I'm
just
gonna make
no,
this
you're making
giraffe
the same zoo.
enclosure,
Okay.
and then like while the other one's not looking, you delete the fence of the giraffe enclosure, and they get out, and you're
You
like,
can't
oh.
even. It's more of like you can't even delete the fence necessarily because whenever you say make the giraffe enclosure, it's like one large unit that you just put on the map somewhere.
What up, Josh? I want a city builder. I don't have my glasses on. RTS
RTS
based
based
MMO.
MMO. Yeah, I mean that's kind of
It's everything
that's
in one.
Stellaris. That's
Yeah.
Stellaris. Like, let's
What
be
is
honest.
Josh? What is your favorite city builder at the moment? Would you say?
I've heard really good things about City Skylines, but I've never played it.
There's a
I've
guy
heard
on
amazing
TikTok
things about
I
it, yeah.
watch
Yeah.
for City Skylines. I found him because he like did something where like the whole town started to get backed up because he only put like one road in, and then he tried to do like water and the whole town flooded, and it's always chaos, and I'm so here for it. I've never played the game physically, but I could watch this man for hours just cause pure chaos.
I need to
I've
get
like
used to
almost
it.
bought it so many times.
I have it. I haven't really jumped into it because like this control schemes and like the things are slightly different than SimCity. So like it's like a little bit of a barrier for entry. I've heard amazing things about it, but then I heard City Skylines 2 just dropped the ball. So
Yeah.
everybody's kind of pissed off about that.
Josh
But I do need to
says-
replay City Skylines.
Skyline
Yeah.
2 is the last one I picked up, but it was super, super rough at launch. Yeah, that makes sense.
I heard recently they announced the first DLC for it, and people were pretty pissed off because like it's like something really simple like police and fire stations. I don't think that's actually what it is, but it's like they're like this is stuff that should have been in the base game,
I
and it's
hate that shit.
disappointing that they released a broken, incomplete game.
The
But
Xbox version was indefinitely delayed.
so that means canceled.
So I'm not a big city builder, but I do like the God games, like Universe Sim. That's a lot of fun. So not the same thing though.
SimCity 4 was probably like I've heard City Skylines was a really good kind of spiritual successor to SimCity 4. I was actually I had a lot of fun with the SimCity re-release, the remake, and well, like I said, the one that's just called SimCity. It wasn't bad. It was just that the plots were way too small. I wish that they did better with it, but instead of actually updating it, they just let it die. But yeah, SimCity 4 is still A tier.
I feel ya. Okay, Danny.
Yep.
What news do we have this week? Tell me what happened in the world of gaming, because I know nada.
The latest news, kind of piggybacking off of the unfinished game releasing DLC. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League DLC came out today. Season 1 has begun. The Joker from another multiverse from the multiverse, but another universe is in the game. And probably at least 2 other people was really hoping that this DLC would at least somewhat save the game. And it looks like, if anything, it has only made it worse.
Oh no! And I mean that's saying something, because we have not been kindly any episode towards this game. I feel like this is our go-to topic every week.
I have a piece on the Illuminerdi website that details what all is in the DLC, but to my understanding, Joker is you have to beat Brainiac, which is the big boss. You have to beat Brainiac to unlock the Joker. However, to get to Brainiac, you have to be level 40, and the DLC resets you back to level 1. And so you can either grind up and play what, to my understanding, is just...
Oh, wait. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Or you can pay extra to get directly to it.
Oh, nail on the head.
I knew it.
So you can either start from level 1 and play a bunch of recycled missions, is what I heard. If you can even get into the game, because their servers are apparently like just destroyed today. Or you can pay $10 and you can unlock the Joker immediately. So if you can even play the game, it's going to take hours of grinding to get the new character, and then once you get the new character, you won't have anything to do until the second episode of the DLC comes out with like a mid-season update. Yeah, I mean, it's just
not
a shame.
About money.
Yeah.
It's about sending a message.
They did a really cool thing where, like, if you buy like the new battle pass, you can, it doesn't expire. So like you can take however long you want to finish it, even if, like, hypothetically we're like 5 seasons down the road, you can still be working towards completing the season 1 battle pass, and through that battle pass you'll, like Fortnite, get enough currency to get the next battle passes. You don't have to spend real money. But yeah, just the game is kind of toast. I haven't played it, but maybe this will make it go down in price, and then I will play it.
What more is there to do though? Like, that's my question about, because like I've seen the game, I've watched all the story and a lot of the gameplay. Once you get to beat Brainiac, all you do then is continue to beat Brainiac in different multiverses.
They added like some new like strongholds, and like the Metropolis, you go to like a different Metropolis that's like Joker themed, and there's a new boss fight. I think it's Green Lantern is the first one, and then Superman is going to be in later. But so like they have stuff to do, but like they promised like new content to do, but to my knowledge and my understanding, From what I've heard online, it's just kind of recycled the same stuff with
That's
like a new
yeah, like
skin.
that's the problem, right? Like it's like it doesn't seem fun enough to play for that long. Like it really seems like, and what I think probably happened, I think we heard some rumors of like, it was a single player, storyline driven game that got morphed into a live service, and that meant that they didn't have an idea of how to move forward with it. And I
Well,
think that's
Rocksteady was already working on like a multiplayer. I don't know. I can't remember if it was exactly live service, but it was like a multiplayer co-op game. And then some other department was working on, like some other developers were working on a Suicide Squad game. And then Warner Brothers kind of like
Fucking Warner
realized
Brothers.
the Suicide Squad game wasn't going anywhere, so they kind of like scrapped that and then gave Suicide Squad to Rocksteady. So I think Rocksteady was always planning on making this type of game. But yeah, I mean, I was hoping it would be in a sense saved with this update, and it just does not seem to be the case.
I do have one question though. Do you want to know how I got these scars?
Anyways,
Well,
My father was a drinker.
I'm gonna throw out Josh real fast, who is stating, why can't they just release a good standalone Superman game? Like, fucking A, man. The last one was an N64 game. Okay,
Yeah.
I can answer that.
I want a
I can
DC
answer that.
University builder.
I can answer that. I can answer why you can't have a good Superman game.
Because we can't even have a good Superman movie?
No, that has nothing to do with it. There was good Batman games, and there hasn't been a good Batman movie ever.
That's true. That's true.
It don't. I know. I just quoted Dark Knight. I know.
I'm not even talking about Dark Knight. I'm talking about the one that came out 2 years ago. That's the best Batman movie we've ever gotten.
Okay, whatever. But anyway,
don't let Suicide Squad break us apart.
No, I can tell you why. I can tell you exactly why there's not gonna be. I don't think there's ever gonna be a playable Superman game, because he's Superman.
Yeah, like what do you do?
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you can't lose.
I don't know. Give me a
like,
Sonic game, but with Superman, where he's just flying through the sky getting coins. I'd play that.
Well, that was literally Superman N64. I'm not even.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
Because that's literally what it was Superman flying through rings, and everybody hated it.
I didn't have an N64.
Wait, times were different back then. They didn't know what they had.
No, I mean the thing is, right? Like sure, there's kryptonite-based stuff, but like his powers are defined so broadly that even with kryptonite, he can't die. Like realistically, like most everything about the kryptonite just makes him weak, and anytime he gets infected with stuff, he just weakens him. You know, makes him a normal person. It's like you can't play a game where you're literally invincible. I mean, sure, you could say like, oh well, what if we say it's not your health, it's the health of the people you're trying to save. You don't do it fast enough. It's like, then it's not fun. Like
you could do like I don't know. I'm envisioning one day there's going to be an open world Superman game where it's going to be like green enemies that are kryptonite based, and then it's going to be like, I don't know, purple enemies that are like magic based. Because like the dude doesn't have many weaknesses. He's got like 2 magic that I can think of. And so I mean, I'm sure somebody out there much smarter than us and much more creative than us can figure out a way to do it. I would love a Superman game, but I'm kind of in your same boat where it's like, how do you make it compelling?
Well, like I mean, the best Superman storyline was Injustice, and he wasn't even in most of it. Like,
damn.
Yeah.
Well, and Josh
piggybacking off of
ahead.
off of that to another realm of superheroes,
South
Park. We had an official announcement after rumors that Marvel Games is making Marvel Rivals. It is an Overwatch clone, for lack of a better description. At least that's what it seems like. 6v6, player versus player. You're going to have 18 confirmed heroes. I know a full list is online on Twitter, but you got Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, Loki, Magneto, Spider-Man. Most of your top dogs of Marvel are in it. Yeah, Scarlet Witch is in there. But like a lot of them are missing too, you know, like no Captain America, no Wolverine. Those will inevitably come with future updates. They said it's going to be telling, like, it is multiplayer and PvP focused, but it kind of seems like there's going to be at least some form of co-op missions. that tells a sort of story in the Marvel multiverse. It's in development for PC currently, but there are plans to bring it to console. The developers stated that on their Discord that I joined, and then quickly erased the message.
Look at you being proactive and getting on their
It's
Discord.
got a robust post-launch roadmap, and it features destructible environments, which is really cool. And like some of the characters can like team up to do special moves. But I also have a piece on that on the site if you want to read more about it.
Do we know if they're going to have powers or abilities that are already well known, or do we think we'll see some new things?
Some of them are familiar, and some of them are just like, what the hell am I watching? Like Iron Man has like his like repulsor beams and stuff, but then like Hulk can Hulk and Iron Man's team up is like Hulk imbues Iron Man with gamma radiation, and then it does some other stuff. It makes his lasers green, but like Hulk just like sticks out his hand and like shoots gamma radiation out of his hand. And you can like Hulk is like the diva-esque character. You can like switch between Bruce Banner and Hulk. And in Bruce Banner form, he's just got a gun. Like he's got like a gamma gun. It's so funny.
I mean, that does make sense, I guess, because he does switch over.
I mean, yeah, you gotta give him something to do.
But I would think almost Roadhog would be.
Yeah, I don't know how exactly it's gonna work because Penny Parker, one of like the spider people, is also in it, and she kind of seems more.
She's
diva
literally
to me.
a mech, yeah.
Yeah. But it's being built for PC only currently. I think it's super early in development, even though there is a trailer online. I think they more so announced it because it was leaking. This is not that they were like particularly ready to do it. Because
it's third person though, right?
Yeah, third person. So like, there's gonna be skins. There's gonna be all that. It's free to play, at least. There's gonna be a battle pass. There's a store. Your typical things. But yeah, the closed alpha doesn't start until May.
Are you gonna sign up?
Like, oh, I already have.
Wiggy, we should sign up. Dust off
well, it's closed, so.
But yeah, it's like super far off. There's not even a year in terms of a release date. Like it is, because you got the alpha, then you got to do all the beta stuff, and then like you got to take all that and make any changes.
If they're all ready to alpha in May, I could see them releasing for Christmas.
I don't think it releases this year. I don't think it will, but it could. Like if they really if they were really good with the alpha release and didn't have to do much. Yeah, it depends.
It
depends how the alpha is when it comes out. So I guess we'll see in May.
Remember this episode, this time. So if it comes out this year, we can go back and be like, Woogie can tell the future.
Yeah, I'm leveraging all of my Illuminerdi and grid credentials to try to get into this alpha. So hopefully, come May, I'll have more to
I gotta tell you, those crit credentials are heavy, man. There's a lot behind that.
People are banging down our door to get stuff with us. Like,
yeah, my inbox is full all day, every single day.
Listen, lots of people want to sell me, like, get me involved with like their business selling pills for. I think muscle enlargement. I don't know, I didn't really read through a bunch of them, but
some roids.
What else do we have on the news?
Well, I'm actually looking forward to. I'm cautiously optimistic because I do love Overwatch and I still do. It has a big place in my heart. And like that kind of thing where like it's like they aren't inventing characters, they're coming out with characters that exist and giving them gameplay abilities. Way cool. Cool. I really love it.
I love Marvel so much.
Marvel's great.
I'm not a big Marvel fan.
I'll take anything they can give. As long as I can play as the X-Men.
But I love Overwatch.
Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Well,
I love Overwatch too.
When you were talking about like how the Suicide Squad multiplayer stuff was, I mean, I'm sure you played it. Marvel Ultimate Alliance, Marvel Ultimate MUA2, like those were top tier. And then they had the X-Men one that was very similar to it, where it was just X-Men. It's like, so like Marvel can make good games, and Marvel can make multiple play styles.
Good games.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Spider-Man is
like they they have a good batting average in terms of video games.
Well,
I think you
I'm
have
saying
like
with multiple
Marvel?
different hero types,
Yeah.
like having that multiverse aspect and not focusing on like one type of hero,
Mhm.
like I think that could be done very well. They've already have done it well. So if they latch onto that and pull out good stuff from Overwatch style games, I think it'll be good.
it kind of like cuts, not saying like they're not doing any work, but like it kind of cuts their work almost in half because you don't need to worry about creating a character or
Right.
their abilities. You just kind of have to like
Balance
figure
them
out how
out.
to make them work in the game.
And
And you have like an
you
endless
still
supply
can.
of characters.
You still
Okay.
can apparently just invent abilities like
Here's
with the
a
Hulk
question.
shooting gamma
Yeah,
radiation.
yeah. I mean, if you gotta do what you gotta do, but
Here's a question I have for you guys. Who would be the healers?
they have in like let me see if I can find the picture.
Well, you find the picture. Josh says,
Doctor Strange.
oh, that makes sense. You've
know.
hit it big when they ask you to do reverse home mortgage commercials. Exactly.
Oh yeah, I've gotten a lot of those. Maybe we should do some.
He also wants to know, should he get Snow Day? He was excited, but he's seen folks saying it's not worth it.
Don't get Snow Day.
I'll say this is
I'll be right
the
back.
conversation that Danny and I had was I said, oh hey, a South Park game came out. He said, oh man, what's it like? Like I was like I didn't know either. I didn't realize it was out until I saw somebody do a release live stream. And then I looked at the info and he's like, oh, is it good? And my response was, it looks like South Park doing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. He was like, oh.
Like the first two games, like the Stick of Truth and the Fractured Butthole are so good. And like that turn-based combat works so well. And I was just like, I didn't hear anything about this game until this week. Yeah. And
the fact that they went back, like they knew, like I've seen interviews when they were doing Stick of Truth that they knew that the 3D style that they did like back in the N64 era sucked, and they were like, so we wanted to make sure the art style worked, but they went back to it, and it's so from what I haven't played it, so I can't say for sure. I haven't really seen a review of it. I've only just kind of seen hearsay, but the hearsay is it's not good, and it's super disappointing about that.
Josh says, oh, go ahead.
I'm looking at the roster for Marvel Rivals. Supports that allegedly these are the supports. Loki, Mantis, and Rocket from Guardians of the Galaxy.
How is Rocket a support?
That's what I said at first. I was like, the dude is literally known for just having the largest gun possible. But I was thinking like if he like makes like armor or like
like
how Symmetra used to be support. Yeah, that makes sense.
Luna Snow, which I don't know if you guys know who that is, but
Luna
she's
Snow,
like a very new character.
Is that based off of the Flash? What's her name?
Well, the Flash is DC.
So, that makes sense. So no,
she's not based off of Killer Frost. No, if anything, she could be based off of Emma Frost, which is an X-Men.
I mean, kind of in a sense that she has
every DC has a Marvel
abilities.
Output.
Yeah, but Luna Snow is like honestly like probably like one of the most recent characters they've introduced to Marvel. She was in, I think, what's that one game? It's like a Marvel Future Fight, like the mobile game. I think she was made for that, and then has appeared in like a handful of comics since then.
I feel like Marvel throws out a lot of mobile games.
And they're pretty good. I mean, I play Marvel Snap like every single day.
Oh, yeah. So I haven't played Snap for a while, but I could get back into it at any time. It's such a good game.
Yeah, but in case you're curious, some of the tanks. So we covered supports. Tanks are Magneto, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Groot, and Penny Parker.
I guess that makes sense. It's not. I was thinking Baby Groot, but Groot. Like
it's Big Groot. And Rocket can like the team up ability between them is like Rocket jumps on his back.
That's cool.
And then you just like move around together.
Yeah.
So the team up seems like it's going off of what was the Warner Brothers game with DC and all the Warner Brother titles?
Multiverses.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they had a lot of team ups.
Kind of, but like, not. I don't want to say like better, but like more significant than Multiverses was, because these like they like actually like change how you can like how you play the game.
Right.
Like they only showed the 2 in the trailer, but like I don't know. I imagine there's going to be a lot more. But you can only do them between like certain characters, so you can't like Rocket won't be able to do a team up with like every single character. You can only do it with Groot.
Got it.
So it kind of just like pushes you towards those kind of team comps and stuff like that. But that was the only new game announcement. At least like not like indie games. Outside of that, you know, Xbox, they had a slow week last week. There was no Xbox news last week. This week we got a little bit more. Allegedly, instead of doing a new console, well, this was actually no, I can't say that because originally this story about the Xbox handheld, that Microsoft is working on was originally pushed as like they're not doing a new console refresh like Sony's doing with the PlayStation Pro. But then like 2 days ago there was like a leaked picture of an all-white Xbox. And so we don't know if that's like a Series X or if it's like a Series X Pro or what is it. But yeah, Microsoft's working on an Xbox handheld that's like not like a completely more akin to the Steam Deck where you can just play all the games from it.
Smart though.
Instead of streaming it from your console.
Or both. I mean, that's what.
I was gonna say, do you think they'll go like the Switch route?
Has been doing for a while.
It's allegedly not a cloud handheld, and it's a fully native Xbox handheld, according to the report. But that's just
interesting.
And that's the thing is this the same confirmation that Xbox is going to get Steam and Epic, or is it just Phil Spencer, whoever, saying we want to do handheld because the Steam Deck sold well, and then they're like, oh, they're making a handheld, everybody.
Like, Danny said they never said Steam. Danny confirmed that to me earlier.
Yeah,
this week.
so.
Oh yeah, no, he didn't say anything. He said third party. He said maybe we could do third party launches someday.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that's all he said, and like all the outlets were like, Steam confirmed on Xbox. Yeah. Oh my god.
What else is there? We talked about this last week. There is no other launcher. It's just Steam.
and Epic.
And Epic.
But
that's
yeah,
true.
I'm sorry. The Epic Games launcher. I'm dying on this hill.
The rumor about the Xbox handheld came from Jez Corden of the Xbox 2 podcast, and he claims in a quote, "I know that Xbox have got handheld prototypes right now." So I think it's a little bit more significant than like, oh, people are just taking what Phil Spencer said out of context. It's like this person allegedly has insider information. And that's like a popular podcast, so like I have no reason to assume that they don't actually have that information.
But that's also saying a lot, because I mean I think that they had handheld prototypes back in the Xbox days, like
and they
Xbox.
just never did anything with
probably.
So like that could mean anything. It could mean he heard somebody talking about how they want to do that and that they have prototypes. They could be talking about an Xbox 360 handheld prototype, which I know they have.
Yeah, so but I feel like with like the growth of handheld devices,
I would say that
it's probably a modern one.
This is definitely if you get a good handheld. Like that's something that I think Steam finally proved is like, Valve finally proved with the Steam Deck is that you can have a good handheld console.
Well, I guess Nintendo would prove it. Nintendo proved it first, and then
like we just forget Nintendo
no, because like the Switch, all of the handheld consoles that Nintendo has ever gone out are low power.
Game Boy.
I get what you mean.
This is a handheld that plays the games the way that they were, like it plays on a like
they don't have to be redone to get to Switch.
You're not playing The Witcher 3 on 240p at 10 frames per second.
Yeah, it's like a good experience. Like that's something that the Nintendo handhelds have always been great for what they are, but what they are is low power compared to everything else. And so like this is really, I think,
I'll say this, Xbox, if you're watching our show, Crit, because it's amazing and everyone watches it, we will gladly...
Most popular gaming show on YouTube.
We'll find time to try these handhelds for you. I think I made you enough money talking about
Phil
Xbox
Spencer... Phil Spencer, if you want to come on the show, we won't take anything you say out of context.
Wait, is he the guy who said that stupid thing though, or was that some other Xbox person?
Hey,
I didn't use that.
I
didn't use that word to describe what he said. He did say some questionable things about layoffs recently, but Phil, I understand you if you're watching. Come on the show.
Phil's watching this right now, and he's like, "I was gonna say yes, but that
and he's crossed
lady.
it off of his list. Like, do not communicate.
I want to Photoshop an image of you on Twitter going to Phil's account and that he has blocked you. I'm not good enough at Photoshop, so I'll just say that out loud.
Yeah, other Xbox news. Diablo 4 is on Game Pass now.
Isn't that the one that people were upset about? I don't play Diablos.
Yes, but this was, I think this was either last week or the week before. Blizzard announced like a massive update coming to Diablo 4 that changes everything about the game. And so like I don't have it pulled up because it's a couple weeks old at this point, but it kind of flew under the radar. Like I feel like most people, I didn't really see anybody talking about it, but like the things they are changing like completely change like how the game plays, like what you do post campaign, like the end game's content.
So they took the feedback.
And they're I think the update comes out in May.
Nice.
It's something like that, and I am so excited. Like I just need it. It kind of makes Diablo 4 more like Diablo 3, in terms of like the gameplay and the grind and stuff. And I need that. I need that in my life so bad. I need just like a casual Diablo that I can fall back to and play.
I had friends who were so upset about Diablo 4. They would not give Baldur's Gate a chance. They said, "No, I wasted my money. I don't want to buy a new game right now." Like they were so upset.
Well, to be fair, Baldur's Gate 2 and Baldur's Gate were more akin to Diablo back in the day.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought they didn't want to drop another $60.
No, BG3 was a big departure. Like it used the same setting, the same character, some of the same characters from like, but it was like what 50 years ago or whatever. But like the style was very much more that dark and gritty kind of thing that like Diablo 2 was known for.
Interesting.
Yeah, my mom doesn't let me play Diablo though, so.
My mom didn't let me play it, but then I moved out,
and that's why
and grew up.
That's why Wookie lets his kids play. What was that game?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yes.
They were the ones that wanted to play that. I don't even play Five Nights at Freddy's, but no, like if a game is not ultra violent or contains like overt sexual themes, they can play it. Like they play lots of games. It's like
you probably see worse at school.
I mean, realistically, they'll see worse on TV. They'll see worse. They'll hear worse on radio. I get into my car in the morning on the classic rock station, and the fucking morning jockeys have I do not understand how they are allowed to say the stuff that they say. Every morning, too. Every morning, it's all like I turn on. It's like, and then she gave me the biggest blow job. I'm like, what the hell? Like, how is this on public?
That's because no kids are listening to the radio.
I don't feel like anyone monitors what they do on the radio anymore. Like,
I do feel there's nobody in the FCC that spot has been open, and the radio stations have realized it now, so they can just do whatever they want.
They're like, the FCC's like, who the fuck is listening to the radio?
Although that is the funniest thing. You can tell the dirtiest sex stories and have call-ins and stuff and all this, but you can't say "God damn it" on the radio. That still you have to censor. Which
now
also
he's gonna get us censored at the one person.
You can say "damn it" on the radio. You can't say "God damn it" on the radio. That's how antiquated the censorship laws are. Anyway, that was your weekly Woogie's a Dad tangent.
Speaking of radio censorship, Final Fantasy 16's The Rising Tide DLC comes out on April 18th.
I'm not letting you get away with that. That was not. I know
You
what
should
you were
have
trying
said
to
something
do.
like,
And...
"Well, we're talking about the airwaves."
Oh, that would have been better.
No, it wouldn't. Because it has nothing to do with this. Anyways, the second and final DLC chapter for Final Fantasy 16, and you get to, you get the water elemental finally. That's pretty much it. You get the Leviathan icon, which is water based.
Nice.
And I'm very excited. And nobody that I know is as excited as I
never even
am,
heard of
nor
Final Fantasy
interested
16.
in this.
I'm really glad that you interrupted my radio censorship tangent for that. It was worth it.
I had to. I will plug Final Fantasy 16 every show until it wins Game of the Year. And considering it came out last year, strap in. It's coming back every single episode.
Right in your ballots now.
Yeah. So I hate to be that guy, but I gotta plug my stuff. If I'm compiling the topics, I'm compiling the topics.
I will give this to you. If this was on last year, I would have put Baldur's Gate for everything. I would have treated Baldur's Gate like I treat that one game that I'm not supposed to mention.
Oh.
Buzz Lightyear?
No, the other one. Not in the news. Disney's Dream My Valley not in the news this week.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
First week of our shows that it hasn't been in the news.
But we got in terms of general news, Game Informer. I don't know how much you guys previously used Game Informer or anything.
That's the one that does that song Informer. It's up and jump with it, right?
I don't even know what that's a reference to.
A licky boom boom down.
What?
Game Informer. There's one person out there that'll get that reference.
What?
And they're not
It's a
watching
song.
Crit. It's the one person
No,
who gets
okay,
it,
and
and they're
Game
not
Informer.
gonna watch
I actually did use Game Informer quite a bit back in the day.
Yeah, when I was in middle school and high school, Game Informer was my shit. I did the whole GameStop membership just to get Game Informer. But they're launching a new print magazine. So I'm assuming they haven't been a print magazine for a while, with the turn to like digital and the whole tied up with GameStop and all that stuff. But they announced this week that they are launching a new print magazine.
That's
You
awesome.
can and that's kind of like the only way to support them. And you can get for $20 you can subscribe for a year, and that's 10 issues. But
That's
very
not
cool.
bad.
I'm glad to see it come back because it was a pretty.
So they're not tied up with GameStop anymore.
No, this new
Is
members
GameStop
this new
tied up with
subscription is just like
GameStop?
their own thing now.
I thought GameStop was gone.
I
No,
literally
it's-
just bought Princess Peach from GameStop. So
It's still around. The whole like stock thing, like.
No, I don't care about stocks. I just thought like Radio Shack, they just went away with the times.
Honestly, used games for people that don't play on PC is still a big deal. I mean, seriously, like you go there, you could get a brand new release 2 weeks after for like $20 off.
That's not bad.
That's great. That's great. Depending on the game, of course. I mean, sometimes they'll keep the price pretty high, but it's like you get their membership. I used to work at a game store, so I know like the profit is in the used games and in the trade-ins, so they get to set the price. But usually the price is going to be at most, or like at least $10 below whatever the release is, and some people will trade in that game within a couple days. So like if you're on it, you can really get like really good discounts because then they'll give you discounts on the used games.
That's awesome.
So I would still recommend. I don't want GameStop to go away. As much as like I don't use it that much, I use it enough that I don't want it to go away.
Nice. So if you're out there and you're looking for a game, go to GameStop. Not a sponsor.
Yeah, there you go. Unless you're on PC, in that case, go to the Epic Game Store.
Unless you're looking for Game Informer magazine, then you can just go on over to GameInformer.com and subscribe to the magazine there.
Do it.
If you want to see him continue. I love Game Informer. They're a huge part of my childhood. So
is it only going to be based on subscriptions that you buy through the website, or are they also going to branch out into selling like at retail locations?
From what I understand, it's just the website. Like they are just only doing this by themselves.
That's got to keep overhead
I feel
down
like
for
that's.
them.
I was gonna say,
good.
I think that's smart. I do feel like we've been in this flux where print media, like magazines, have been dying for the last 10, 12 years as the internet has grown. But I think more of the smaller businesses, and I'm not like saying by far that this is a small business, but I feel like for the smaller companies to be able to do these print magazines are really doing well. Like there's another gamer magazine, I think it's called Patch, which is mostly cozy female based, but they're always putting out their new magazines, and they do the same thing. They keep it small through the website, and I also think it helps with like they're not going to buy more than they already have like a need for, which is really what the issue is.
And with like their new subscription, you'll also get it like digitally as well.
That's cool.
But they'll send you a physical copy every month.
There was an old game magazine. I don't think many people picked it up. It was called Nintendo Power. I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
It sounds familiar.
I don't think they make it anymore, but I knew a few people that had that.
Woogie, I have some good news for you. There was one guy who got your reference, and it was Josh, and he was watching the show.
So, all right, got that one. That's it. That's it. Just
you can end your career right there.
Let's see. Outside of that, we got a couple hands-on and first look impressions of upcoming games.
Ooh, what kind of
games? Judas is it's the BioShock in space game.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say a Bible game.
It does sound like it would be a Bible game, like a Witcher style, but you play as Judas, and you have to betray Jesus.
There is someone making a Bible game. I saw it on TikTok.
There's a lot of people making Bible games all the time. I mean, that was the guy that makes Five Nights at Freddy's. Like half of his original
games was a Bible game. Oh
no, his original games were like it's crazy.
That's a strong leap to go from, I think, though.
It is.
But yeah, Judas sounds cool.
It's kind of like, I think it's made by former BioShock developers, and it was kind of like a meme when it was announced that like, oh, this is just BioShock in space.
But wasn't BioShock made by former developers of System Shock?
So yeah, it's made by the same guy.
What is
So this is a spiritual successor to BioShock, which was a spiritual successor to System Shock.
Yeah, so Ken Levine, he was the head of the creation for BioShock series and System Shock 2. He talked to, I think it was IGN, and he described Judas as BioShock in space. And so that kind of became its own
if it comes
meme.
from him, that's
just
like something.
This is what we already knew. This was BioShock in space, but apparently it's going to have a non-linear story structure. Main character has memory loss. Surprise. 3 major side characters, one of them voiced by Troy Baker. Each of their narratives occur simultaneously, and your decisions with all the characters affects the narrative. So it's just BioShock in space. Kind of not. I think there's more gameplay footage that they released, but like in terms of new information, outside of like there being 3 characters and Troy Baker, an incredibly popular video game actor, being in it, didn't really give much outside of what we already kind of expected from this game. But I mean, the hands-on preview was like very positive. Everyone liked what they played. There's no room to not like the developer's history is only good games. So
speaking of BioShock, would you kindly tell me if there are any other hands-ons that you have?
There is. Dune Awakening didn't have a hands-on, but had a first look impression.
Is it a zombie game?
Dune Awakening.
Oh, Dune Awakening! It's the Dune game we talked about. No. I remember this.
It's a zombie game.
It's a zombie game.
It's a zombie roguelike.
I was just going off last week's conversation where he was like, if it has something to do with like Dawn or Awakening or.
Undawn.
Okay, you know what? That's a good point.
Undawn,
I'll give you that.
Dune. Okay, it's close. But apparently Dune Awakening is really good. From what IGN got to see of it.
Glad.
It's like the survival MMO, super intricate like Dune game, where you're on Arrakis and you get to do Dune shit.
And
I'm super excited for it.
And we said 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago in episode 2 that this is going to be like years before the movie, right? Or like a different.
It's not. It's like a couple. It's like a year or something before the movie, but it's like.
But then it also splits. Into a different timeline.
It's like a different timeline. But IGN says whether it was the intricate RPG systems filled with skill trees or the insanity of trying to escape a massive sandstorm, Dune Awakening appears to be on track to become the sci-fi survival game we've always dreamt of.
I love a good skill tree. Especially if it's a good skill tree that like allows for customization and like doesn't force you in one direction, but you can kind of pick and choose. I love
this.
You
can do that in Dune.
This might be the next game to get me to play a game that was released this decade.
Oh, shit. But yeah, I think you can. There's like I remember reading about 3 different like archetypes you can do. One is like the Bene Gesserit, so you can do like the whole space witch kind of stuff. And then one was just like a standard gunner. I don't remember what the third one was, and I can't find where they talk about it. But there was, yeah, I'm assuming it's like some sort of Fremen thing, but that's not ringing a bell for some reason. But yeah, you can like fully customize your character. There's a bunch of skill trees. You have to not only worry about your health, but also your water levels when you're out in the desert. And you can take blood from enemies you kill to
drink it?
Refill your water levels. Well, in Dune, they take it and purify it into like just normal water.
Well, and also, I mean, a silt suit, if worn properly, can lose only a thimble of water throughout an entire day. So I don't really see how you can manage your water levels unless you don't wear silt suits, which makes me think that maybe there isn't a Fremen archetype.
Like I don't want to like talk out of my ass, but like I feel like the third one wasn't a Fremen option. I know you
That's
can.
What
like,
I want to play as. I want to play as the Fremen, right?
Well, like I know you can do like you can take spice and stuff and like, get your eyes turned blue and all that stuff. So I imagine there's definitely at least going to be like a Fremen faction or something. But I don't know. I can't remember what the third one was, but I don't feel like it was a Fremen. But very good things from it, and I'm super, super excited for this game.
Nice.
Me too. Now that I hear good things about it, I'm really excited.
I do love a good Survivor game.
I have no segue for this next one. Sega of America is
Speaking
unionizing.
of Sega.
Speaking of how she wants a Superman game where it's like
that
Sonic and
like
you collect rings.
20 minutes ago.
Sega of America is unionizing, and it's the first union contract at a major U.S. gaming company.
Sweet.
Good.
Go union.
Yeah, especially after
there's needed to be a gaming union since the 80s. Like
I think we talked about this on episode 1 about how like after all these layoffs, like we expected like this kind of stuff to start happening, and Sega's a big one. Sega's a massive one to be like the leader in it.
Good for them. Good for them.
Speaking of unions, I'm wondering if he can pull this off.
Oh well, no. So the other what we talked about, if you'll remember, when we were talking about the layoffs in episode 1. We were like, there either are gonna be a bunch of unions popping up, or a lot more people are gonna start going independent.
And who's going independent?
Relic Entertainment is leaving Sega to go independent. They've developed like the Company of Heroes series, a couple Warhammer games, and the Homeworld series, but they are going independent, splitting off from the greater Sega company, not Sega America. But yeah, they're the next ones who are, taking that initiative to get out from under these like massive corporations.
Nice.
I mean, going through their catalog, they kind of seem like they would fit like kind of indie bill. Their games were always kind of had that feel to them, so that's good for them.
Do you think we might ever see smaller games make like gaming companies make alliances? So not so much like partnerships, but like, because I feel like eventually, if more people are breaking off, the bigger dogs are going to like not like that and try and do something. So like,
That's what they tried to do to begin with, right? You have the companies like Bethesda and EA and all these, like they originally were like, oh, we'll just publish and we'll let you do the game, like right, like this is just we're not taking much, you're doing everything. Well, it was a failure in the fact that they were like, actually, why don't we just buy you? Every time. And that's how these giant game companies came to be in existence was, EA didn't used to make games, they used to distribute games that were made, and now they own all of the makers and the distribution so that they can make more money. So it would be great if they could, but it runs the risk of just starting over that whole trend again.
Interesting.
Yeah, and another kind of episode 1 branching story. In episode 1, we covered how Embracer Group.
Fire in episode 1.
Episode 1 was crazy. Embracer Group sold Saber in episode 1 that we talked about. And it was announced that they're still making like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, but they're no longer a part of Saber. And I mentioned that there were rumors that Gearbox was next. And lo and behold, a few weeks later, Embracer has sold Gearbox to Take-Two Interactive. So 2K, those games, they were actually the publishers for the Borderlands series. I thought at one point that Take-Two owned Gearbox, but they were just publishing for them. But yeah, Embracer sells Gearbox. We love to see it. We love to see Embracer lose. They're selling it to Take-Two for $460 million, which is a very large number, but less than half of what they bought Gearbox for originally. And so you just love to see it. And then again, in like the whole documents detailing all the transition of Gearbox, they confirmed that Borderlands 4 is in active development.
So we did finally get that announcement.
Yeah.
Which I think in episode 1 we talked about.
We talked about that in episode 1. Yeah, go listen to episode 1 if you haven't, because apparently we were popping off. We had all the stories. But yeah, Gearbox is now going to be part of Take-Two, which I actually really like.
Nice.
They've clearly worked together before and have had success before, and I think they are laying off like a portion of Gearbox in the process, but at least the company will not be owned by Embracer, who is the most hated company in the video game industry. Yeah, hopefully they just leave, because no one really wants them in the industry at all. But outside of that, that was the news for the week. We have one rumor. I had plenty of rumors for our rumor section. I had plenty of rumors.
And then they were confirmed?
Many of them were debunked or confirmed. So there was a Sonic Heroes rumor that got debunked.
Is that what the cross means when you cross them out of stories on your list? He has a list that he keeps us on track.
Yeah. The cross out means that we've either covered it already or it's not relevant. But yeah, Sonic Heroes remake, that was a bunch of bullshit. Not happening. That kind of broke my heart a little bit. I love Sonic Heroes. And then Marvel Rivals was a rumor before it got announced. However, we do still have one rumor left, that is Resident Evil 9 is...
They've made 9 Resident Evils?
Unsurprisingly. They've made way more than 9. But we'll take 9 more. Resident Evil 9, everyone knows it's in development. They haven't said anything about it. They haven't announced it yet. But allegedly, according to Dusk Golem, who is in Resident Evil Capcom Insider, Resident Evil 9 will be using open world technology. It's also rumored that Resident Evil 9 has been the longest Resident Evil title in development. So one thing leads to another, and you can kind of assume that it will be on the largest scale that we've ever seen a Resident Evil game. And the rumor is that because Capcom and has this Resident Evil engine, the RE engine that all of their newer games are made on. It's also what Dragon's Dogma 2 is made on, which is very important because it's kind of like a testing ground for how that engine can handle an open world game. If everything is to be believed and it's true, then whatever they learn from Dragon's Dogma 2 will then help Resident Evil 9 be a open world-esque game. Which
I don't know if I like that.
Damn,
like
Wookie's out. He said
Resi
like
Evil has never been open world, and when they have tried to branch out, it's gone basically kind of like. I mean, Resi Evil 4 was probably like the biggest one that is kind of open world, and at its release, it was really. Obviously, it's got like a little bit of a cult following now, and the remake was really good, but like.
I'm in that cult.
But at the time when it was released, people kind of bashed it, and it's like they went away from that and kept on the linear stuff, and it really worked well for them, especially with like 7 and like that first person visceral horror stuff. I think that they should keep going on that, but I don't know. I just don't see how they can make Resident Evil open world.
I'm excited to see what they can do. I like when Resident Evil innovates, when Capcom innovates the series. I was super skeptical about the first person switch. I didn't want it to go first person. I wanted to stay like that third person over the shoulder. And then they proved me wrong twice, with 7 and 8. I loved both of those games. But yeah, I just kind of have like the utmost faith in them at this point. If they're gonna change up something, they probably have a good reason to. And I think you can still be linear and be open world. So I'm very interested to see if it's even true. It could, an hour after we finish this, Capcom could come out and debunk it.
Who knows,
But
maybe
They're
we'll
watching
like,
right now, so they'll
episode
see that
4.
we're covering it. And
Capcom, if you want to come on, we can do like a Resident Evil tier list. We could talk Street Fighter. Let's go. Make it happen. Just reach out to me. I know you're watching. I would love to talk to the entire company
Mega Man
as a whole. Yeah, whatever
What
you
else
guys
does
want to talk about.
Capcom had Mega Man. They had Dead Rising,
Street Fighter, Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter, Marvel vs. Capcom. All of it. I love it all.
If it has
Hunter,
Capcom's name in it, I feel like that's not fair.
It's their game. What do you mean? But yeah, outside of that, last week was a really big rapid news section. I was trying to get through it all. I'm not gonna have that same problem this week. There's only one news that I found today.
Wait, we gotta do rapid fire. Beep, 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 beep.
There it is.
Sound like a
One of these
telegram.
days we'll get a jingle in there at some point. But CD Projekt Red, developers of Cyberpunk and the Witcher series, had I don't know what you would call this, like a presentation or something that they gave I'm assuming their corporate heads and stuff like that, of like a kind of like 2023 retrospect kind of thing. But even though it was focused on the success that they had last year, they talked about where they're going in the future. And it turns out 60% of the company, which is 403 people, are actively working on pre-production of the next Witcher game. So we already knew they were making a Witcher game, but I don't know if it was ever confirmed to be the start of a new trilogy until
it was.
Did it? Okay, was it?
Yeah, when they released the announcement for it, they specified that it would not be Geralt.
Oh,
Oh,
so
I knew that, but I didn't know if
if they
if they said it was going to be a new trilogy. I I was under the assumption it was just going to be one game, or like they made it seem like it was going to be one game. But maybe I'm wrong on that part. I knew it wasn't Geralt, but
so they were saying they're saying that it is the start of a trilogy,
yeah,
or they're just saying that it is the new one.
In this press release from today, they described it as the beginning of a new Witcher trilogy.
Okay.
Now,
No.
do we know who
Sorry,
is
I
gonna
misunderstood. Yeah, that sounds good.
Do we know who is gonna focus on? Have we met this character at all in like the Witcher
no,
series?
We know
actual information.
We know one thing. It's going to be from the School of the Lynx. That's literally the only thing that we know.
But yeah, they released like a nice little graphic that talks about their upcoming projects. The next Witcher game is like working title Polaris. Doesn't have any. It's not going to be called that. It's just like the development title. There's another one called Sirius. That is developed by the Molasses Flood, but CD Projekt Red is supporting it. Something in the Witcher universe. And then this was also it was news to me. A remake of the first Witcher, being developed by Fool's Theory, and supported by CD Projekt Red, but that is in the concept stage. So it's not even like won't even see it for like the next 5 years.
I had heard about that because they got people that really wanted to play the full story, but Witcher 1 is just the gameplay is so bizarre. Yeah, it really is.
That's what I was gonna ask. I thought Witcher 3 was so popular because it was like the first one people really connected with, because 1 and 2 weren't that good.
2 was very good. 2 was super good, yeah. But
Witcher 3 was
2 was more like between 1 and 2. I don't know what console the first one came out on. If it might have just been like a PC game, but the 2 came out on the 360. And so it was like a more modern title, with like new gameplay. And then 3 was just like, yeah, it's like one of the best games ever made. But 1, like, even if you try to go back, it just aged so poorly. Like, it's so hard to play.
I got it for free. I got it for free through GOG, and it is the most bizarre control scheme I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It is very, very difficult. I couldn't even get past the first level with just turning it off. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the Witcher remake.
I do have just right here, sitting here. The Last Wish is that's
I can't reach it, but I have all of them.
This is the only one I got. I don't read very much, but like every once in a while I'll buy a couple things. I love the books. The intro story with him and the is it Astria?
The Striga.
Such a good story.
Do you think I would like Witcher if I liked Baldur's Gate 3? I like the series on Netflix. It's on Netflix, right? Yeah.
It's so what I would recommend. I do think you'd like it. I think honestly, I don't think that there's one person that wouldn't like Witcher 3, because it is what we ask for, right? Like it's magic and fantasy, but in a way that's more realistic. Like, the creatures are real and visceral and like they can be scary, but like I think that if you were to play it at the what I had to do to get into it, what I didn't like was when I started playing it, it was very Soulsborne-esque to me. I just couldn't get it because the combat was way too difficult. I had to play through on the easiest difficulty first, but that actually made it more fun, and now I go through and play it on the hardest difficulty. But I really do think it's one of those games that if anybody gives it a real shot by playing it at the lowest difficulty, I think that removes all barriers for entry, and it's just, the story is amazing. If you love stories, it's so deep and detailed. But then also, if you aren't huge on stories, the gameplay is fantastic. So, and then, oh man, then once you get to friggin' what's the name of the Beauclair? The last DLC, the
Blood and Wine.
Yeah, that Beauclair, because that's just a fairy tale land. But then it's all bright and shiny. But then all of like the monsters from the fairy tales are real, so it's way cool. Yeah,
I still haven't played Blood and Wine. It's the only thing I haven't played.
100%. I think that you should quit the podcast and go play Blood and Wine.
Right now,
It
just
is-
turn it off.
It is Blood and Wine is the best part of The Witcher 3.
I was
really good.
waiting for like the next gen update for The Witcher 3 on my
It's out.
PlayStation, and it's out, and I just never played it.
What are you
doing?
I just didn't go get.
There's
never,
other games
never
that
launched
come
it.
out. Wiggy, no one's like, he's not like you where he's just gonna be like, oh,
I know. I need
Blood
to
and
play
Wine
it.
back
is
6 years.
Blood and Wine is the best part of the entire content that's in there. It's so great.
Yeah, like I have like one other friend who like got really into The Witcher with me, and I just like it's just like a running joke that I still haven't played Blood and Wine. When it's like the part that like you should buy the game just to play Blood and Wine. I played everything else, just like Blood and Wine. I just never got around to it. But they're also with this CD Projekt Red news. Everyone knew they were making a Cyberpunk sequel, but they're making a Cyberpunk sequel. It's also in the concept stage of development, so like not even production at any point, not even pre-production. And then they're also working on a new IP, which is also in the concept phase, so it's not coming out for a while.
Woogie, as our Cyberpunk expert, is that the game that had a lot of bugs and issues when it first launched?
Yeah.
Okay.
But to be fair,
that should
that's
not be held against them at
describing-
this point.
that's describing
Why?
almost every game
That's
that has
true.
been released
Okay, I'll
in the
give you
past
that.
5 years. So
Not
but
not
no, it
only
is-
to Wiggie's point is it describing every game, but CD Projekt Red has done so much to separate themselves and separate the game from that state. And the game, as it is currently, with all the updates and all the work put into it, and the DLC is like unbelievable now. And yet people still like hold the launch against it, which like I get, but like respect the work that they've put in over the years since then.
Well,
I
Woogie,
also-
you said
I have-
that they
I'm a
won an
little
award,
bit
right,
different.
for best fixes or whatever, best
Uh,
improvement.
Like best support, like developer.
no, it was
support or something.
best labor of love.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's I'm maybe in the minority, and I know that like most of the issues were on console.
Mhm.
So and I did play it on PC. I
Yeah.
was able to play through the entire game at launch.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Before even the first patch, and I was fine with it. So like, I get like I didn't play it on PS4, so obviously I'm not gonna know the hell that was the state on PS4. But yeah, I think it just got improved for me. There are still I think I mentioned this on like episode 1 or something. There's still one visual bug that is still in the game, and it bugs me every time that I play it.
What is it?
And it's not a spoiler because it's like it's even before the first act is over. You go in and you're like in a meeting to do the big heist that starts the game off, and there's like a chip that has everything on it, and when you pick it up, the light is supposed to be on the chip, but it's hovering above the chip, and it moves with it. So like I know it's supposed to be, and that visual artifact has been in the game ever since I've played it, and they've never removed it. And I'm like, come on, I'm not the only one. This
It's
is
a
the first
creative
mission in the
choice.
game. No, this is a
They
bug.
they at least want one bug to remember how far they've come from.
Exactly. They left that one there on purpose. Yeah.
Well, any other news?
That's all.
Are we
That's
really
all
gonna?
we got.
Did we do this all? We did the 90 minutes. We didn't go
We
over.
did it.
We checked our
didn't go
tangents.
over. We didn't
I
go
didn't-
over.
Good
I
job,
didn't know that
everyone.
we had a 90-minute limit.
It's not a limit, but like no episode has like ended within the time frame we expected it to end.
Does
I will
it-
say we could do a little bit of housekeeping, not necessarily game-related news, but news for us in case the edited version of this
There's no more
includes
edited
it.
version. This is the
The-
only
the,
version you get now.
Is there an audio version?
Not yet.
One day.
Okay. Well
One
then,
day.
I guess we'll save that then.
But now I want to know, what was it?
The mystery.
No, because if we
No.
were to include it in an edited version, then I would say thank you to I Fight Dragons for the use of their song.
Oh yeah.
But we can say
yeah,
that.
no one knows what it means yet. You'll figure it out.
Yeah,
It'll
I'll
all
say,
make sense.
and if for some reason, so I'll say thank you to I Fight Dragons for the use of their song "While We're Still Young" off of the album Canonize,
Yes.
as the intro and outro to our show.
That may probably not be on this episode.
It's not gonna be on this episode, but it might be on next week's episode or the future episode.
We've got
there
an
will be
edited
one
down version.
day
It's ready to go.
You will come here and you will hear and you'll be like, I remember in episode 4 that random Woogie man told me.
I remember when they announced this, and then we didn't see it for 6 more episodes. But now it's a
Don't
staple.
don't put that into the universe. That's gonna happen now.
No, it'll be here next week.
Don't put that on Chris.
Chris will make sure we get that all checked out.
Chris doesn't want us talking about this. Actually, can we?
We'll just Chris will cut this part then.
I just imagine Chris stays in like a closet in your room somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, closet to his left.
Well, I guess that's it.
That is it.
Sweet.
Closing comments?
We did a great job on wrapping up. We did a horrible job starting the episode, but hey, we're still learning.
What is this like?
Some of us are still learning.
Self-praise, guys. What a great episode!
Kudos, such kudos. I would not
Let
do
us
the
know
show.
what you thought of our episode, what we can improve on. We love constructive criticism. Just don't attack us, please, because I'm sensitive.
You can attack Woogie. That's fine. Woogie's used to it.
Find Woogie on LinkedIn and attack him on
All right. I mean, that'd be a little weird, but.
Anyways, this has been Illuminerdi's Crit episode 4. I am Kimmy, aka It's the Blonde Life. You can see my social media tag in my cute little cozy frame now. Also, go ahead, Danny. Shout yourself out.
Bojic Danny. Below me, follow me on Twitter. I'm thinking about getting into baseball. I've never watched baseball, but I might be tweeting about baseball soon.
What made you get into baseball? I gotta derail this for a second because I love baseball, and I was like,
I've never watched baseball.
Wait, you like baseball too?
I love baseball.
My wife watches. Well, she's not as much of a fan of baseball as she is of her team.
Oh, okay.
No, her team. Oh god, those new pants are so good.
That's why Danny's watching it. Is for the new pants.
The new pants.
Yeah. I just gotta see all of it. No, I just been like, I keep going down these TikTok rabbit holes of just like compilations.
Is it the bananas?
No. I would love to go see the bananas play though.
I would go for the bananas.
But I keep watching compilations of like people getting ejected out of like MLB games.
I do love those.
It is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Oh man, when that ump goes, that is like it's endorphins straight into my brain.
Oh my god! And so I'm like, man, maybe this sport is kind of fun.
No, because I'll tell you, that doesn't usually happen.
I know it doesn't happen.
I
get that. That's
like going to NASCAR for a wreck, and you're like, oh, nothing happened.
It's just like the drama of baseball is so
There's a
funny
lot
to
of
me.
drama.
I'll tell you. I don't know. It's like on at the same time as NBA is, and I'm a big basketball person, so like I probably won't watch it until at least May.
Do the playoffs
when basketball ends, but I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but yeah, go follow me on Twitter. We can talk about baseball and X-Men. That's all I really watch at this point.
I did start the first episode of X-Men '97. So
nice.
Oh, good. It's so good.
I had to quit before the episode was done, but so far I'm digging it.
Well, Woogie made a face real fast, so if you also made a face with Woogie regarding the bananas. Bananas is a trick baseball game. Think like the Harlem
Globetrotters, yeah.
But for baseball. So they travel around. They're called the Bananas. They do a lot of different TikToks, which is kind of where they got their claim to fame.
They break the rules of baseball and like make their own rules. Like the best one is like if somebody hits a ball into the stands and a fan catches it, the player's out. Yep. Like if it's a foul ball or if it's a home run, if a audience member catches the ball, the player's out. And it's so funny.
Yeah.
And like there's like a 2-hour time limit on the games. So whoever's just winning at the end of 2 hours wins. Like,
and I think their go-to rival team is called the Party Animals or something like that. But they travel together. They're a lot of fun. Check them out. I think their full name might be Savannah Bananas. But if you look up right. Bananas Baseball, 99.9% you're going to find them. And then Woogie, where can we mysteriously find you this week?
Guys, I don't think I can do the show with you anymore.
It's okay. You still don't have a say.
Find me on the Facebook.
The Facebook as Woogie.
As Justin Timberlake famously said,
yeah.
Keep the. It's cleaner.
So many movie references this episode.
I know, it's a lot, yeah.
Oh my god, the Bananas are gonna be in Nashville in June.
Get your tickets now. Not a sponsor.
Oh. Yes, let's go.
Dude, imagine us being sponsored by the Savannah Bananas.
Oh my god, Savannah Bananas. I know you're watching Crit because you must be big gamers. But please sponsor us. We'll do a TikTok. I'll make Woogie do a dance. It's all good.
Oh, do I have any say in this?
No, when do you ever have a say?
Good point.
Okay, well that ends our show until next week. Remember, Thursday, 6 p.m., we are now live on YouTube, so we do not do a YouTube update or YouTube upload. You can always find us in the live tabs if you want to come back and watch us at a different time. But if you're watching us now to hear that information, then maybe that doesn't make any sense. Anywho's, have a good one. Until next week. Woogie, sign us out with your kisses thingy.
I'm bailing. Good night. I love you, sweet dreams.